And welcome to the Charlotte Bobcat post-game report. Bobcats have put 3 in a row this week. 2 wins over Detroit. Now get a big win tonight. Not one of their better efforts tonight, though, but get a big win over the Pelicans, who used to be the Hornets now, and they'll move on and try to make it 4 in a row before they hit the road tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good first half for the Bobcats, Coach, but they came out. Al Jefferson scores 14 of the first 16 points. He continues his role, and they take a double-digit lead into the half, but they come out in the second half, get a little sloppy with the ball on the turnover. They got outplayed a little bit, like Coach Clifford said. The effort, it was still a decent effort, but it wasn't like they're used to playing. Let the Pelicans get back in the game, tie it late, but the Bobcats are able to knock down some free throws and hold on for a 3-point win. And right now in a playoff race, even though it wasn't the prettiest of wins like maybe Detroit earlier in the week, a win's a win. Let's keep rolling.
Al Jefferson was his 7th 30-point game in the last 11 games with a 33-point effort. 14 out of 30 from the floor. Again, tonight he had to do about all the load. Kimba got some points late from the free throw line. Other than that, Cody Zeller was the next leading scorer, though, but one of those where Al had to pick him up, put him on the back, and carry the team tonight.
Yeah, and carry him he did, Coach. I mean, even like you said, he took a lot of shots, but like Coach Clifford said, he still almost shot 50% from the floor. That's a great percentage. But for him to have 33 and 10 again, like you said, Coach, 7 30-point game in the last 11 games, I think people need to start to sit back, and you as a coach know this, you've seen maybe some of your players get on a roll, but people need to sit back and enjoy really what they're seeing and seeing how he's playing. Coach Clifford, who's coached a number of great guys, has said this is the best stretch he's ever seen somebody play that he's watched. So what a great performance by Al. Let's hope he can keep it going, because tomorrow night I think it's going to be maybe his toughest matchup of the year as he goes against big guys in Memphis like Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph.
Again, it's at the point now where he's playing so well, you expect every shot he takes to go in. And again, you said 14 out of 30 tonight. The whole starting lineup other than Al was 10 out of 30 tonight, though. So that got to tell you right there the productivity he was doing tonight as far as getting it done and carrying him point-wise.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He had a huge and one down the stretch, so he really carried this team. And I think you just talked about it. You're kind of expecting it every night now. Somebody in the locker room kind of leaned over to me and goes, what's going to happen when this guy actually has an off night? We're going to sit back and be like, whoa. I mean, because it's hard to expect somebody to keep doing that night in and night out, because, I mean, it's so hard to do that in the NBA, but he continues to do it. Will he continue to do it? We'll have to see. I think he's playing good enough basketball where you might not see 30 every night, because that's so hard to do, but he's going to continue to put up numbers. Like I said, the matchup tomorrow night, I am so excited to watch this matchup as a basketball fan, Coach, because when you have one of the better defensive centers in the league like Marc Gasol, a big power forward like Randolph who can guard him, he's going to get some different looks, so we'll have to see how it pans out.
Again, good win tonight, though. A big difference tonight in the ball game that jumped out at me. The Bobcats attempted 36 free throws, while the Pelicans only attempted 11 right there. I think it's 17-point difference from the free throw line.
Yeah, definitely a big difference in the game. Like Coach Clifford said, that was the game, getting to the foul line, making that many more free throws. Because, again, like we talked about, the offense wasn't really clicking like it was the past 2 games. They were kind of struggling in that second half. But for them to knock down those free throws, that was the difference in the game. And, you kind of brought it up earlier, Coach. One of the guys that we do need to give a tip of the cap to is a guy like Cody Zeller. We talked about how he's kind of struggled in and out in the rookie season learning the game. Well, he comes out tonight and has a career-high 13 points, tied for the second leading scorer on the team, 7 rebounds. So Coach Clifford's talked about it a couple times this week. We've been monitoring, and he said that he can see Cody starting to get it, starting to see the details. And we talked about after the game, and he says he sees things on the court better now. So hopefully that just means that he'll be better play off the bench.
And again, it's a good win from the standpoint the Bobcats winning this game tonight, 2 men short. After the trade, the new players are not ready to come in and play yet, that they still having to go through paperwork, physicals, stuff like that, though. So they were missing, Sessions right now, who normally would have helped them in a situation like that. Cody had to play a lot of minutes. Sessions would have given you one of the better free throw shooters on the team, extra ball handling. So, again, they got it done tonight, 2 men short.
They did, and that's why it's still a very good win, and it gets you 3 in a row. It gets you they're actually climbing towards that 500 mark. We'll see if they can get there, and I think we can go ahead and let our viewers and fans know that the 2 guys probably aren't going to play tomorrow night either. We talked to Coach after the game. The trade still hasn't been officially cleared because all the guys haven't taken their physicals, like Ramon and them going to Milwaukee. And then, like Coach said, even if they do get cleared, say tonight or in the morning, since since it's a back-to-back, they're not going to have a shoot-around. They're just going to have a walkthrough. So there's no time to get those guys integrated. But the very good news, and the way that we can't believe the schedule worked out like this, but it's perfect timing for the Bobcats, even if they don't play tomorrow night, because after that, they have 5 days off to get these new guys integrated before they head out on the road to face the San Antonio Spurs. So you couldn't ask for better timing for that. Coach Clifford said, you give me 4 days of practice, we're going to have those guys ready to go when they head out on the road.
And again, if I were Ramon Sessions or Jeff Adrian, I'd take my sweet time getting up to Milwaukee and playing for that team. Another team kind of in disarray right now. The weather ain't pretty up there. I'd take my sweet time leaving beautiful, sunny South Carolina for going.
And I think we do got to say that, just talking about the trade, breaking it down a little bit since we haven't got to from the last home game, that it is a good move. You hate to give up a guy like Ramon Sessions who's playing great basketball. Adrian, he didn't play a lot of minutes, but he was tough off the bench. But when you bring guys like that, I think Al said it best after the game. When you bring guys in like Ridenour and Gary Neal who can shoot and shoot it, and you have those around Al, it's not only going to make the three-point shooting better, it's going to make Al even better than what he's playing now, because they're not going to be able to double like they used to. So I think it's a good trade for the Bobcats. You don't really salvage anything for the future. You save all your draft picks, and you kind of improve your basketball team. Again, I know he's one of your favorites. He's a stand-up guy. We want to say we wish the best to Ramon and Jeff Adrian, because they were great teammates, and they really brought it all for the Bobcats.
And we don't say this in a negative way, too, but what you're going to see is you may not see Al putting these 30-point games together, because he's going to have more balanced scoring coming in, and he ain't going to be required to have to step up and do all that.
It's a perfect point. Like tonight, you talked about it. Even though he almost shot 50%, he took 30 shots. And they doubled him for most of the fourth quarter. So, I mean, he's going to take away for less shots, which it can be a bonus if everybody else is contributing. So if they go to double, he said it, if they go to double him in the post, he's going to have shooters. He talked about how Neal can light it up. If they don't double him, then he can do whatever he wants to one-on-one. It's a perfect situation for the Bobcats. And this front office in the past has, they've been hated on for mortgaging their future to try to win now, or not trying to do enough. They're not doing enough. I think this was the perfect move at the deadline, because again, I think you improve your team to win now to make a playoff push. But if something happens and you don't make that playoff, you didn't salvage the future. You're still going to have draft picks in the draft, and you can still continue to build. So great job by the front office to go out there and find some guys to improve the team.
And you're not really locked in of these players. If they don't fit in and work out, I think they're finishing their contracts. If you want to sign them, you go after them. So.
Yeah, and Coach, you've talked about it as a season ticket holder too. You weren't sure how this organization was headed. I mean, they were salvaging the future and not getting enough back, or they weren't trying to win now. I think they've got the perfect balance, and it's good to see this organization heading in the right direction. I mean, just sit back and think about it. The Hornets are on the way. Your Bobcats team's in the playoffs right now. They made a move to get better without giving up a lot. I mean, I think they're making all the right moves right now, and you could see it. There was 15,000 here tonight, but this crowd was really into the game. I think they sense that this team can make a playoff push, and I expect to see maybe close to a sellout tomorrow night.
And another big thing tonight was it was Lady Cat Alumni Night. We cannot pass that up, though, but it was great to see some of the young ladies with the Lady Cats who actually were the first ones, the founding, would you say founding mothers or fathers? Founding mothers of the Lady Cats. We had a chance to interview several of them before the game, though, but it was great to see some of our favorites that have worked with Cox Sports Broadcasting and good friends of ours come back out and get a chance to go on the floor again.
How great is it to see everybody, back on that floor? We've covered them for years now, so it's great to see those people that we've become friends with who's worked with us. I mean, Christy Palmer, who's working with us now, was back. You had Kelly, who used to work with us back in the day. All of them. Lindsay, we can name all of them. I mean, they've been such a great help to us. They've been so nice to us. We interview them. So it was great to see them back. You had a chance to do a video with them before the game that y'all get to see. Even had Miss North Carolina in there, which was a surprise to us. We didn't really even know.
Mrs. North Carolina,
excuse me. So, I mean, it's just great. And I think that's a part of the Bobcats organization. They talked about it before the game. Not just the Bobcats and the basketball players on the floor, but look how, even though these dancers haven't danced for some haven't danced for 10 years for this team, how they bring them back as a family and they let them enjoy this night together. That's one thing that you can always say the organization has done, is they've always been tight-knit and they've always been good to the community and fans, so that's good to see.
I think it's great, and we did discuss with them if the team officially should be called the Horn Cats right now, because we're almost to that transition of going to the Hornets, finishing up with the Cats. Maybe the last, 29 games we ought to be the Horn Cats.
Hey, well, we'll take it. As long as they keep winning, I don't care what you call them, Coach, because like I said, this is exciting for us right now. You got to admit, I mean, a team who's only 4 games under 500, who's sitting in that 8th spot, actually creeping up to the 7th spot now. It's good to see them playing good basketball. It's good to see everybody coming back. Everybody's really enjoying this, so it'll be fun to see if they can keep this up down the stretch.
Again, third time this year the Bobcats have put together a 3-game winning streak. Can they take it to 4? we'll be here this time tomorrow night to answer that question. By now we'll know. And again, if they could win this game tomorrow, I know they've got the worst stretch they've had coming up, playing 4 teams that potentially would be Final Four teams in a row, and I think 3 of them on the road. So it's going to be a huge stretch. But if we could get win number 27 tomorrow, be 27-30 before going to San Antonio, going to Miami, and going also to playing Oklahoma City, then I think that would really be a boost.
It would really be a boost to try to get this win tomorrow night, Coach. You talked about it, Murderers Row, really the 4 best teams in the NBA. You're playing them back to back to back to back. I don't know if I've ever seen that, but they get that week off, but they go to San Antonio next Friday. They're in Oklahoma City on Sunday. They're in Miami on Monday, and they're back home for the Pacers on Wednesday. That's the top 4 teams in the NBA.
I was going to say, by the way, we come back and play the Pacers, who's got one of the best teams in the
NBA. We've covered this team probably for more than 5 years now. I don't think we've ever seen a stretch like that, and 3 out of 4 of them on the road. So, yes, I think people need to put a big emphasis on this game to get this win tomorrow night at home before they head out on the road.
Again, it'll be an important stretch. It's one of those, if the Bobcats could steal one from one of those teams, it would be a feather in the cap. But, it's one of those people are going to have to be realistic that there's going to be teams in the last 28, 27 games here that are going to go through slides. Atlanta's on a 7-game losing streak. It's just a matter if you can minimize your slide right now. Make it through, regroup, and get back home and win the games you're supposed to win.
Oh, by the way, you talk about those 4 teams that they're going to play on that road trip. Let's not forget that Memphis is a playoff team every year, and they're coming in tomorrow night. So I want the fans to come out and pack the arena. Like I said, we had a lively crowd here tonight. It wasn't sold out, but it was still a good crowd. Let's get them out here tonight on a Saturday night game with a good Memphis team when your Bobcats team is playing good basketball, and let's get this win before we head on the road, because I do think it's a big game to try to get that before you head out.
And you can TiVo Syracuse and Duke.
Absolutely.
We promise we won't give you the score.
Or bring it on your phone and watch it like we're going to watch it here on a computer or something while we watch. We're going to have 2 games going at once. Basketball all around.
That's going to do it. Well, I'm Dick Cox. He's Dustin Phifer. We will be here reporting live for the Coach's Corner tomorrow night. Our show is brought to you by our friends at the Beacon Drive-In, by Larry's Trophies, by Concoction Ministries, by the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, by Vic Bailey Volkswagen. Who am I leaving out?
I think you hit them all. You're doing pretty good on that. This last 2 shows in a row where you've nailed them all on the first try. So.
Again, we appreciate them making this possible. Tune in. Again, if you can't make it to the game, then we'll be here to bring you all our recap post-game tomorrow night.
Ready to go. Can't wait.
I'm going home to get some sleep. How about you?
Me too. I'm ready to get some sleep. I feel like we've been here all week, so let's get some rest and be back at it tomorrow night.
See you tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
Good night, everybody.